Dear children, this is the first video of class 9th economics where we are dealing with chapter number 1 story of village Palampur. So the first topic under this is the description of the village Palampur. So yes, Palampur is a hypothetical village, a imaginary developed village which is being taken to discuss the various concepts relating to production. So it is a village having good transport facility, irrigation, it is connected well with the neighboring villages. Then we have got a primary health center, houses have got electric connections. So this imaginary village has been made so that we can think and we can have a picture of a village in our mind, and then we will be discussing the concepts relating to production. Moving ahead, you can see the organization of production. So there are 4 types of factors of production: land, labor, physical capital and human capital. So to begin, if you see land, so land includes other natural resources as well, like water, forest, minerals. Labor, so labor is actually the skilled and well talented workforce which can actually contribute towards the physical activity in the farms, where they can actually go for production of various farm products. Third one is physical capital. So this includes tools, machinery, building, raw materials, money. So here you can see the first 3 tools, machines and buildings, they are known as fixed capital because these are fixed in nature. And then raw materials and money in hand, they are the type of fluctuating capital, okay, or you can say the working capital. Moving ahead, the human capital. So this is actually the 4th requirement which actually deals with the human beings, those who have got the proper knowledge, capability, who can put together land, labor and physical capital and can actually move forward with the production of goods and services in the economy. Then we see that the topic relating to the land first, okay. So land in Palampur, if you see, the cultivable land area is fixed because in the year 1960 all the wasteland has already been converted into cultivable land. So we can see that now no wastelands are left which can be converted into cultivable land. So whatever is the cultivable land, that is already fixed. There is no scope to increase agriculture production by bringing more land under cultivation. If you see the cropping pattern, so we are following multiple cropping pattern in the village Palampur. You can see in the rainy season we are moving ahead with kharif, farmers grow jowar, bajra, then followed by potato between the month of October and December. Then in winter you can see the farmers grow wheat, okay, and a part of land is also devoted towards the sugarcane harvesting. Now if you see irrigation facilities, so yes, it is having a good system of irrigation. Tube wells are there in the village Palampur, and by mid 1970 the whole area of 200 hectares was irrigated in the village Palampur. Then you can see this, for increasing the production on a limited area, farmers practice multiple cropping and modern farming method. These 2 are the methods which can be used to increase the production in the limited area. So multiple cropping, we can see it means growing more than one crop on a piece of land, and most common way of increasing production on a given piece of land, right? Modern farming method, if you see, it includes the use of modern techniques and farm machinery, whereby we are actually using more equipped machinery which can be easily used in the fields to go with various activities of harvesting, threshing. And then it also includes the use of high yield variety seeds which are actually having good productive capacity, that they can actually go for more number of quantities of farm products. Then proper irrigation methods. Then we also include the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides which are actually being used so that the pests are not destroying the farm products and the fertilizers are helping for generating more farm products in the fields. Finally, this modern farming method has led to the introduction of green revolution in the later part of 1960, and which has increased the cultivation of wheat and rice using the high yield variety seeds. So next we are moving forward with the green revolution. So you can see green revolution uses all the other activities which were there in the modern farming method, that is the improved techniques and farm machinery, high yield variety seeds, proper irrigation methods, and then chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So this has led to an increase in the agriculture productivity. So what are the positive impacts? If you see, like earlier India was not able to export, but now India has achieved self-sufficiency in the food grains, and now India can export the goods as well after the meeting the needs of the consumption needs of the people in the country. Now India is in a position that they can export the food grains to outside countries as well. If you see the negative impacts like point number 1, heavy use of chemical fertilizers. Yes, it will automatically have a negative impact also, because we know that there is both sides of a coin. So if it has got some positive impacts, negative impacts will also follow. So it has led to deterioration of land's fertility. Then due to multiple cropping also, the fertility is going down, because if we are continuously using the land for the production of food grains, automatically the land is not having any time to replenish, right? Then HYV seeds require plenty of water, chemical fertilizers and pesticides to produce best results. And because of these requiring plenty of water, you can see the water table has depleted, and because of the excessive use of groundwater, right? Then chemical fertilizers also contaminate the groundwater, rivers and lakes. Yes, obviously chemical fertilizers, if it has been used and then rain is coming, so that will take away the fertilizers with it, and that will get deposited in the rivers, lakes and groundwater. Finally, the inequality of income has increased the differences between small and big farmers. Yes, we will be seeing that there was inequality of distribution of land between the farmers in the village Palampur, and thereby there is inequality in the income also, because the one who is having more land will be able to produce more farm products and their income will be high. So the conclusion of green revolution, if you see, in Palampur the yield of wheat grown increased from 1300 kg per hectare to 3200 kg per hectare with the use of HYV seeds. Now coming back to the land distribution in Palampur, so the village, you can see 450 families are there, out of which 1/3, that is around 150 families are landless. Then the 60 upper caste family, they own majority of the land in the village Palampur, and then the remaining families are having less than 2 hectares of land. Moving ahead with the case study, which is dealing with this concept of land distribution. So you can see Govind was one of the farmer who is having 2.25 hectares of largely unirrigated land. He also owned 1 buffalo, then managed to feed his family, but after his death he is having 3 sons, and then after his death the land was divided amongst his 3 sons. So each one is getting only 0.75 hectares of land, and because of this small hectare of land which each of the sons are getting, they, even with the improved irrigation and modern farming method, their sons are unable to actually make good living out of it, right? So the conclusion is that cultivation of small plots of land does not bring adequate income to the farmer family, because the small plots of land is actually not yielding more amount of farm products, and thereby the income in the hands of the sons of Govind is very less, and they are unable to make living out of it. If you see the distribution of land, so you can see that 85% large farmers cultivate 44.6% of the land and 15% small farmers cultivate 55.4% of the land. So basically this is the distribution of land in the village Palampur, and this is also one of the drawback of green revolution. Because of this unequal distribution of land, there is unequal distribution of income in the hands of farmers. You can see 85% of the large farmers, they are involved in approximately 45% of the land, and remaining 55 is only been occupied by 15% of small farmers. So this was relating to today's class. You have learned today the concept of the various factors of production. We have taken a hypothetical village of Palampur where farming is the main activity, and then we have discussed about land in detail. What are the methods which are being used to increase the productivity? That is the modern farming method, then multiple cropping, and modern farming method led to green revolution. What are its positive and negative impacts, and then what is the conclusion? We have also seen one case study dealing with it, right? And then this unequal distribution of land, which is also one of the negative impacts of green revolution. So that's it from my side. Thank you.